Hi, good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys, can anyone please confirm? Is I'm audible, guys? Anyone, guys? Is I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah, fine, guys. Thank you. So, guys, I think I can see some new people and new participants are there. Yeah. Just before starting the session, guys, anybody has been joined for the today's class? Is today is your first class? If anybody is there, so please let me know. You can use the chat panel, guys. Just type it as first session, just so that I can get some understanding about how many new students are there. Anyone is there, guys, who has been joined for the today's class? No one is there. You can just type it in the chat panel, guys. If you are joined for the today's class, just say that it's a first class. That's it. Okay, guys. I think so. I don't think so. Some people I can see. Okay. So nobody is responding actually. Today is your first class, but I can see some new people compare with yesterday's class. Okay, guys, it's not a problem. So
Yes,
guys, yeah,
first class.
yeah, this is your first class. Okay, who is this?
I want to send you a message through chat.
There is a chat panel is there, no? There is a chat. Is there? I sent it to everyone also. Just type it there. Just type the message and send it to everyone. There is an option called as an everyone option will be there. I can just see the message.
All right.
Okay, okay, not a problem, not a problem. Okay, okay, guys. So anyhow, guys, this is my third introductory class, right? It is going to be the third demo class actually, guys. Yes, okay, Vivek Dubey, you have been the first class actually. Okay, it's not a problem, guys. So we have been just started with the introductory parts actually, guys. We are still in the introductory parts only. So we have not yet started with any implementation. So, and even we have been not started with the actual concepts also. So just a basic, like we have been started studying the basic ideas, like what is machine learning, just a basic ideas we have been got started with that. Okay. So don't worry if we have been missed that classes. So need not to worry actually, guys, because it is only the demo classes only. Still we are in the demo sessions. We are in the introductory part. So if you feel that there is you have been missed some classes, no worries about that, because we are going to share you the recorded sessions of the classes what you have been got missed. So nothing to worry. It is just a hardly 1 hour class will be there, guys. So who has been missed the yesterday's and day before yesterday's class? So you will be getting all the recorded sessions. My team is going to send you the recorded sessions actually. The recorded sessions of the demo classes will be sent to you so that you can just go through that and you can just understand what I have been got discussed about that. So anyhow, once a quick review, guys, the who has been people who already attended yesterday's class. So we started with the introductory part of the first class, guys. Just I told you about what is machine learning. Actually, our course is going to be nothing but our total course is going to be, it's a full stack data science course actually. It's going to be a full stack data science course. So starting from end to end, from starting from the beginning to up to the end, whatever the concepts that are going to be required or whatever the concepts that are going to be gets required to handle a data science project to completely learn the data science, whatever the things that are going to be required. So we have been completely providing the training. Starting from beginning, that's starting from the scratch. Like we are going to start with the classes, starting with the basic Python classes actually, because to implement the data science, we use as a Python or we are going to use a R language. We are going to use this. So even as part of our course curriculum, even we have the R language as well as we are going to be implementing with the help of the Python actually. So end to end, starting from the basic, starting from the Python, what are the prerequisites of data science or machine learning, what is deep learning. So all these things, what is NLP, some kind of a big data systems, some kind of an cloud services. We are going to learn a lot of things actually, guys. All these things we are going to be discussing as part of our totally 4 to 5 months of training. We are going to be covering all these particular topics actually. But what do you mean to say deep learning? What do you mean to say what is meaning of an NLP? What is AI? Right now you can't understand it. So for that I started with my first introductory part of machine learning. Once you complete machine learning, then you can understand what is going to be the deep learning applications. So in the first class, I just given some history when the machine learning was started. It was started in 1959 or 1950s it was started. But why it has taken this much time to become successful here now? Because at that time we don't have that much computing power of the systems. We don't have any powerful algorithms are not available. So over the time period, so computing power has been increased, as well as a powerful algorithms are also has been got started. So due to that particular reason, this machine learning has been came into the success stories has been started actually. Really, if computing power is going to be the old computing powers, still it is in the lab only. The machine learning still used to be in the lab only, but it has came to the reality. It came to the real applications. It is due to the computing power and some algorithms has been got developed actually. So simple to say what I told about a machine learning basically. So machines is going to learn from the data. So if we give the data to the machine learns from the data. That's why we call it as a machine learning. Whatever it understands, it is going to be given as an insights to us. And based on that insights, we are going to be doing some kind of a prediction actually. So yesterday, I shown you one small practical example I have shown you with that. Just a very small practical example. Yesterday we have a type. So that's the reason I have been explained some, I think not your class. Okay. Sorry guys, not your class. Sorry. So it is going to be data and we have to give it to the machine and we have got the insights, and based on that, we are going to be doing the prediction actually. It's not your batch actually, guys. Okay. So what the machine says, machines are nothing but our computers actually, guys. So because we are up to now, we are having a knowledge of programming languages. So what is a programming language? Up to now, what we are saying up to the programming languages. So why do you require a programming language? Because machines, your computers cannot think by themselves. Computers cannot perform individually by themselves. Just we have to give some instructions. Up to now, we are discussing the same thing actually, guys. Computers can't behave by themselves. Computers can't decide by themselves. That's why we have to give some instruction to the computer in a format of a program. That is what programming languages says that actually. But now the trend has been changed. What the machines are saying here is, you need not to give any instructions for us. If you just give me the data, that means if you give me some kind of a data, what has been happened? Everything we have to give it in a format of a data only. Simply, if I give some text and some kind of paragraphs, the machines can't read it actually. You give me some data to me. What has been happened in the past? If you tell me, I'm going to understand the data. Based on that, it is going to do some kind of a predictions actually. Like for example, if you give me the past customers data in a banking, the past customers data, if you give me, tell me who are the defaulters, tell me who are the non-defaulters. So tell me who are the defaulters and who are the non-defaulters, who paid the EMS promptly, who did not pay the EMS promptly. You tell me the past customers data. I'll study them. I'm going to study them and I'm going to understand what are the characteristics of the defaulters, what are the characteristics of the non-defaulters. And based on that, when a new feature, that means whenever a new customer applies a loan, I'm going to predict whether he will be a defaulter or whether he will be a non-defaulter actually. Hope you understood the simple technique actually, guys. Tell me about your past customers data. Who are your past customers and what they happened? What is his current status? Whether they paid the EMS promptly, they are non-defaulters. If they didn't pay the EMS promptly, there are going to be the defaulters actually. So whenever if you tell me, but you have to tell me the data, and you have to tell that information in a format of a data only. Simply if you say that he is a defaulter, he is a non-defaulter, no. Tell their characteristics. What are their age? What are their salaries? How many children they have? Whether they was married or not? Whether he was staying in a rented house or a own house? From how many years he is working? How much loan amount he has taken? For what purpose he has taken the loan? Tell me all the detailed information. I'm going to study them. I'm going to study them. And I'm going to identify who is going to be the defaulters and who is going to be the non-defaulters. And based on that, I'm going to tell you in the future who could be the defaulter and who could be the non-defaulters, to whom I have to give the loan, to whom you should not give the loan. All these things we are going to tell you. So machine studies the past. Simple guys. The machines are going to studies the past. And based on the whatever they understood from the past, it is going to tells you what could happen in the future actually. That is what exactly this concept of machine learning says that. But as I told you, machines will learn, but machines are learning automatically by themselves means it is not going to be something like they can study by themselves actually. We have to provide some manual inputs, we have to provide it. So for that, I told you the technical aspects, like we have to do some collect the data, we have to analyze the data, we have to cleanse the data, we have to do some data visualizations, and machine learning has to be done. Machine learnings will develop the machine learning models. and the models are going to be created, how effectively the model is working, evaluation, and we have to improve the performance of the models. And then at the last, we have to do the deployment. So all these are some of the technical aspects what we have been got discussed in the last session actually, guys. Quickly, if I tell you about that. So once again, I told you about that. We have to do some kind of a data collection. So these are all the techniques which we have to know. How to collect the data from a CSV file, how to collect the data from a Excel sheet, or how to collect the data from a JSON file, or how to collect the data from some SaaS systems. So nowadays, the storage is coming in hundreds of formats. It's not like just like an Excel sheet and a CSV files. We are going to be getting a lot of formats we are going to be getting. After the data collection was done, we have to understand the data analytics we have to do. We'll analyze the data. We have to understand the data, whether the data is sufficient to make a machine to learn. So some kind of analytics is required. And after that, we have to do some kind of a data cleansing. Actually, the definition of a data science actually, guys. Actually, data science is also called as a data-driven science actually. Why it is called as a data-driven science actually? Because it is completely driven only with the help of a data. No data, no data science. It is completely a data-driven science. Data science is also called as a data-driven science actually. Data cleaning the data actually, guys. Because sometimes we are going to get some kind of an dirty data are going to come. Some kind of an untidy data, some dirty data or messy data is going to come. We have to clean up them. Otherwise, machines can't learn again. So data collection, data analytics, data cleansing, and even I told you about something about a web scraping. Okay, leave it for the timing. Web scraping, I'm not discussing about that. Some kind of a data visualizations. We have to visually. It's one of the very important the skill a data scientist should know about that. Compulsory data visualizations. So without having a data visualizations, we can't survive them. Sir, will you learn any tool for that? No, we don't learn any tools actually, guys. Everything is going to be some kind of an open source libraries. For data visualization, guys, we are going to use libraries, Python libraries like, which is going to be a matplotlib, or which is going to be something like a Seaborn, or we are going to be having a bouquet. You can see something called as an plotly. So many things are there actually, guys. So many open source libraries are there. If you really want to know, you can just check it out actually, guys. All are open sources. It is going to be matplotlib.org. It is not coming from Python actually, guys. It's one of the Python community. It is a Python community actually, guys. Matplotlib is a comprehensive library for creating static, animated, and interactive visualizations in Python. Matplotlib makes easy things easy and hard things possible actually. We can do a lot of things. We can do it actually, guys. These are all about the data visualizations. These are all open source libraries actually, guys. These are all open source libraries. One more is there, Seaborn. It will navigate it to, which is going to be Seaborn dot. It is going to be nothing but a Seaborn dot, which is going to be pydata.org. It is another data visualization libraries. All are open sources, guys. Complete open sources. We are going to be having something called as an bouquet. You can see a bouquet actually, guys. It is going to be a bouquet, which is going to be a bouquet dot, which is going to be org. It is another data visualization, which is based on the JavaScripting actually, guys. Like that, there are so many other libraries are going to be there, which is going to be nothing but what we can say that it's going to be Plotly. It is going to be another, it's not an open source actually, but there is a wrapper. There is a Python wrapper is there. So that is going to be an open source actually. So Dash apps goes where traditional BS does not go. NLP, object detection, predictive analysis, and more. With 1 million downloads per month, Dash is a new standard of the AI and the data science applications. It's a Plotly actually, guys. A very powerful library, what we can use it. So those are the things which we have to learn. So whenever we want to understand the data visualization is important for us. And after that, we are going to be having the main important here is, which is going to be where the machine will learn. That is a step what we are going to call it as training the data model. All these are done by the users only, guys. Manually, we have to do. There is no automation for this. Training the data model actually. This is the step where the machine is going to learn actually, guys. This is a step where the machine is going to learn actually. Training the data model. So normally in our applications in a programming language, when you write a program, we are going to get a .exe file, or we are going to get a .class file, something like this. Here it is going to develop a kind of a machine learning model is created actually. So which is going to be a machine learning model is going to be gets created actually. So it's what we are going to call it as an NML model will be created. So how effectively the machine learning model is predicting, how accurately it is predicting, whether it's the predictions are correct or not, how much extent it is doing that, how much extent the predictions are correct. That is what we are going to call it as evaluation of model performance. So again, who is going to do the evaluation of model performance? That is again done by the user only. Manually, we have to do it. That is evaluation of model performance. And after that, we have to improve the model performance, improving of model performance. It's not working that much effectively. 85% only it is working correctly. Then we have to increase it. 90, 95% we have to make it. It's core. Improving of model performance. It's like a student actually, guys. Your machine is like a student. It learned something, whether it's learning correctly or whether it is wrong, it has been learned wrongly. How much extent its learning is going to be correct. And finally, it is going to be nothing but it's a deployment process actually. It is going to be nothing but it's a deployment. All these steps, whatever I have been just marked here, they have to be done by the users. Only this is the step which is going to be done by the machine. And that too, machine does not learn alone by itself. We are going to guide that particular machine with the help of an algorithms, which are going to be nothing but machine learning algorithms actually, guys. We are not going to learn about anything about any sorting algorithms or something like that. As I told you, data science is all about learning these techniques only. Different techniques. If the data was missing, how to fill the data? There is a technique. Whenever we want to do some analytics, what techniques we have to do to understand the data? What techniques are required to evaluation of model performance? Like that, all about learning about techniques, methodologies, process, systems, algorithms, studying about all these things is going to be nothing but a data science actually. But sir, how to implement all these things? We require one language. So the very simple language to use is, I told you there are two languages are there. One is a Python and one is the R. The most popular is Python actually, guys. R is also that much equivalent with the Python only. R is also, so many people do not concentrate on that. But R is also going to be equivalent competitor with the Python. So what made the Python to become very popular than the R is, once you compare at the machine learning level, both will perform the same thing actually, guys. Both performance are good. But when you go to deep learning actually, guys, there the Python is going to be dominating actually, because the R community is not concentrating much on the deep learning, whereas the Python communities are there, which is going to be concentrating more on that particular deep learning applications. The latest, whatever the latest success stories has been came, it is completely due to the Python communities, not with the R actually. Up to the machine learning, both performance is good. Both of them performs very well. We cannot say that this is higher, this is going to be lower actually. Completely at machine learning level, both are going to be the tough competitors. But once it comes to the deep learning, the Python completely dominates the R actually. That is the reason why people prefer to learn the Python actually. That is basically the idea behind them. Okay, so that is basically the discussions what I have been done in the previous classes actually, guys. So if anybody has been missed the previous classes, don't worry about that. Just we are in the introductory parts only, guys. So today we are going to add one more thing actually, guys. So many people expect that data science is also like learning a programming language. The first thing actually, guys, if you want to learn data science or if you want to become a data science expert, the first one of the thing you have to leave is going to be nothing but programming. Forget about the programming, guys. So many people will be worried about programming only. Sir, I don't know anything about C++ languages. Can I learn data science? Yes, absolutely we can learn. Actually, guys, correctly speaking, I'll tell you guys, data science is actually, we are putting in a computer science engineering actually, guys. But actually data science is a subject of mathematicians and statisticians. Actually, one of the main reason this data science has came to the limelight, it has been brought a big success for the particular data science here is, it is due to some mathematicians and statisticians only, not by computer science engineering people. It's not the success story of some computer science actually, guys. It's a success stories of the mathematicians and statisticians, along with the computers. Obviously, But all the theory, whatever this particular, the experts in data science, all these are mathematicians, statisticians. They are not computer experts. They are not any software experts actually, guys. They're completely mathematicians. For example, I have done actually, guys. I done a certification program from IIIT Hyderabad. From IIIT Hyderabad, I have been done I have been done a certification program on this data science actually. So the main lectures, the lectures who has been taught the classes is going to be the PhDs in maths. So almost all the faculties, whatever the faculty members who has been given the lectures is completely, they are the PhDs in maths basically. It is their subject only. It is actually mathematician, statistician subjects. But being the mathematicians and statisticians are not good at programming language, they are taking the help of the computer science engineering people. But actually speaking, it's not the subject of the mathematician. Statistician says that data science is our subject. You have been taken away from us, saying that it's a computer science program. It's related to computer science. No, it is completely, the success stories are the algorithms has been developed by mathematicians, scientists, the data scientists. Those people has developed these algorithms basically. We'll see them once you start with an application. We'll come to know about them. Right, guys. So, okay. So coming to this, don't expect that like a Java programming language. So we'll teach you what is a programming, what is an if statement, what is a for statement. So everything like for functions, we'll also teach them. But there are going to be completely basic level only. We are going to be working with them. So today we are going to add up a small terminology of a data science actually, guys. So many new terminologies will come. So many new terms are going to be coming actually, guys. Don't worry. Initially, little bit confusion, but over the time period, we can settle down with that. So normally, whenever we talk about, see guys, how a programming people different terminologies and how a data science people terminologies will be there. Coming to a programming people, if I ask about what are the data types, what are the data types actually, guys? Generally, we'll talk about data types like in any programming languages, integers, we have a floats, we have a strings, etc., etc. We are having a bool. Like this, we are going to be having some kind of a data actually, guys. You can talk long, short, we can say signed, unsigned. You can see a lot of data types actually. Now coming to our data science, or data analytics part, the terminologies are all derived from maths and stats only. The terminologies, whatever we see, is going to be derived from maths and stats actually, guys. It is going to be, have you heard about this word called as an continuous data actually, guys? Have you ever heard about this term called as a continuous data? Anyone, guys? Anyone? This term called as a continuous, anytime? Anybody is there, guys? You can use a chat panel. What do you mean to say continuous data? Have you heard about this at least? No one is responding. Please respond, guys. Nobody. So please try to interact with me, guys. It's not just like a video class. If it is a video training, that will be there. It's an interactive class, no? So please try to respond to me. Anybody, guys, who has been heard about continuous data? Nobody. Okay.
Hello. Actually, we not listen the continuous data, but according to your saying, continuous data means, I think we need to regularly put data. I'm thinking.
Okay. By the terminology. No. In 10+2 standards, have you remembered that? Have you didn't remember? In 10+2, we have been learned like whenever X belongs to R is a continuous data.
Yes, sir.
Yes, do you remember in our 10+2 standards actually? So when you're working with some kind of an basic algebra or something like that, they used to say like this: X belongs to R, where R is a continuous data actually.
Continuous functionality.
Yes. Continuous functions. It's an X is an f of X is defined as a continuous function, right? Isn't it? So it's a little bit long back actually. Okay, no worries, guys. Okay, don't worry about that. Just I don't want to discuss about some kind of and more into that particular application. Basically, a continuous data is going to be nothing but where the data, that means continuous means the data can be spread to up to any extent. We can't say that this is limited only up to this value, or this is going to be limited only up to this value. Like for example, if I talk about what is going to be, yeah, including a decimal value, absolutely includes a decimal value or integer values also. Like for example, when you talk about what is going to be house price, actually guys, it is going to be house price. So whenever I talk about the house prices, we cannot say that house prices must be always only between this 10,000 to 20,000, or the house prices are going to be only from this value to this value. We can't limit like that. So that means that simple to understand that where the possibility is going to be there from minus infinity to plus infinity, it is going to be there. I can't say that from where to where the data was extended actually. From where to where the data was extended, we cannot say that actually. It can be anything, house prices, or it can be gold price or stock market or share, a company's share price actually. It never limits saying that it can be only up to 100 or it can be only up to this much. We can say that it's a continuous data. Generally, continuous data are always numerical values. Continuous data, no doubt, is a numerical data. There is a one more data. This is all maths and stats terminologies, guys. These are not in computer science, integer, float, string, and a bool. In statistics and maths, it is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as a categorical data actually, guys. We have another type of a data is there. It's a categorical data. Categorical data means where the data is going to belongs to multiple categories, a different categories of data actually. Like for example, gender, it is going to be two categories are there, which is going to be nothing but male or a female actually. It's a categorical data actually, guys. Hope you understood the difference. Don't think that categorical data is always, sir, normally in our programming terminology, if I talk about that, this is going to become say text data. In programming, if I same example, if I use it in C, C++ languages, which is going to be what we are going to say that it's a string data. But in our data analytics and data science, we don't say it's a string. We always say that it is going to be a kind of an categorical data, male and a female, male or a female. Don't think that it is always, it is going to be a text data. Sometimes it can be 0 or a 1 also, guys. It can be 0 or a 1 actually. But if you observe carefully the categorical data, a gender value, if I say represented by 0 or 1, it cannot be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. It cannot go up to infinite value actually. It can be either 0 or it can be only 1. That means which is going to be nothing but a fixed number of values will be there. Where we can have a fixed number of values. We also generally call it as discrete values also we are going to call it as. That means a very few types of values will be there. Whereas when you talk about house prices, we cannot have all values are going to be distinct values. Cars prices are there. This car prices, I cannot say that cars prices are always only like, only it is 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs. Not like that. It can be any value, which we cannot say that it is always, it is going to be limited number of values actually. So coming to the gender, it is going to be male or a female, 0 or a 1, something like that. We are going to call it as a categorical data. So continuous and categorical. Generally, we are going to talk about two types of values. Now, as I said that a machine is going to predict a value. Machine is always going to predict a value actually, guys. What type of value it is predicting? So machine do some kind of a prediction. Machine learning is all about predictive analysis actually, guys. That means it understands the past. Based on the past, it is going to depend, it is going to predict what is going to be the future actually. So depending on the predictive value, that means depending on what value it is going to be prediction. If it is predicting a continuous data actually, guys, just observe carefully, some terminologies are going to be new to you guys. Even myself, whenever I started around 5 years back, I was also got confused with these terminologies because completely new terminologies will come. A completely new terminologies will come actually, guys. If the prediction value is going to be continuous, this task is nothing but what we are going to call it as a regression task actually, guys. A task is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as a regression task. So whenever it comes to the machine learning, we are going to solve a different task. It can be a regression. Regression is nothing but where you are trying to predict a value which is going to be something like it's a continuous data actually, not like a categorical data. if the prediction value is going to be a categorical data actually, guys. So don't worry about them, guys. It is only just an introductory part. So once again, when you go to the actual classes, I'm just going a little bit beyond the basic discussions. Yesterday, we discussed that machines is going to predict the value. It may predict, for example, let us talk about that. Predicting whether he was a defaulter or not, whether he was a defaulter or whether he was a non-defaulter. So machine is predicting a value called as a defaulter or a non-defaulter. It's very clear. It's a categorical data. Whenever it is a categorical data, what you are trying to do, we are trying to separate or you are trying to classify. These peoples are going to be defaulters. These peoples are going to be non-defaulters. Another example, actually, guys, your email. Whenever an email comes to your inbox, whenever your email comes to your account, immediately that is identified as whether it is a spam or whether it is going to be non-spam. Non-spam messages are what we call it as ham messages. So how this particular, how your mail server comes to know whether it is an incoming mail is a spam or incoming mail is going to be ham actually, guys. You know that spam or ham is detected depending on the words that is going to be gets occurred actually. So based on the words, the machines will decide this is going to be spam, this is a non-spam. So these types of examples are nothing but what we are going to call it as a classification task. I'm not saying that machine learnings are only two types. I'm saying that majority, 80% of the real applications, guys, it may be a regression or it may be a classification. So what is a classification task? Given some features, predicting a value which is going to be a categorical value like spam or a ham. In medical diagnosis actually, guys, whether it is going to be nothing but whether it is positive or whether it is going to be negative. Diagnosis positive or diagnosis negative actually. Email, spam or a ham, defaulters, true or false. Something like this, guys. Anywhere it is going to be. Don't think that there are only two classes. There can be any number of classes are there. Based on the images, it is going to be nothing but based on the images of a person. I want to identify whether the person in that is a male or whether it is going to be a female actually. Even we can make the machines to learn even from the images also, guys. I'll give some images to the machine and I'll tell these images are male and these images are female. It will study them. And whenever I give a new image, automatically it will tell that whether it is going to be a female or whether it is going to be a male actually. So some kind of an applications like this actually, guys, they are what we are going to call it as a classification task. Whereas whenever we are trying to predict, so based on this particular feature, you are trying to predict what is going to be the house price, like how many, what is going to be the area or how much is going to be the area of that particular the house, how many bedrooms it contains, how many halls it contains, what is going to be the, so in which location it was there. Depending on that, it is going to decide what is going to be the price of a particular house actually. Like, you know that, no, some kind of, and we have a lot of websites. So whenever we want to, let's say that I want to rent my house. So if I enter all the details, my locality, how many bedrooms, okay, so how many washrooms are there, is there a wash area is there, so what are the amenities I'm providing. Once if I give the inputs, they'll tell this is a recommended, which is going to be the rent for your house. So depending on various factors, they will decide. Depending on various factors, it will be decided actually, guys. How they will be decided actually, guys? By studying the past data actually. Nobody is writing any conditions there, guys. Nobody is writing any conditions there. Nobody is writing any program there. Automatically, the machines will study the data actually. And machines come to a conclusion. Okay, this is the data, what you understood. Based on that, I can say that this is a female, this is a male, this is a spam email, this is non-spam emails, or this patient is a diagnosis as positive, this patient was diagnosed as a negative, something like this actually, guys. So mainly we are going to work with regression and classification task actually, guys. Just it's not immediately necessary, but once if you want to start with this, you can just go for this. What is going to be a categorical versus which is going to be categorical versus which is going to be nothing but, as I told you, which is going to be continuous variables actually. You can just understand it actually, guys. As I told you, categorical variables also called as a discrete variables. I told you, no, categorical variables also called as a discrete variables. As I told you, where the possibilities are only fixed number of values. How many children, the family contains actually. So how many children are there in that particular family? Hardly it will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 2, hardly it may be 3, it may be 4, it may be 5. But you cannot have an infinite values. We cannot have larger values. So this comes only a fixed number of values like dead or alive, obese or overweight or normal or underweight, which is going to be some kind of an score actually. What are continuous variables actually? This can have any value between a theoretical minimum and maximal value like birth weight, BMI, temperature. So a neutrophil count actually, something we cannot say that. Some values can be there actually. Those are what we call it as. Yeah, Vivek, our team is going to send you in once the demos are completed, they will send you a follow-up mail will be given to you. They'll send a follow-up mails. They'll send you a follow-up mails actually. So in the follow-up mails, you can see that kind of a recording videos, what you are going to get it actually. You're going to get the recording videos. Okay, fine. Same as it is. What is going to be class? These are the terminologies actually, guys. These are going to be a classification versus what I told you about the regression algorithms. What is going to be classification versus the regression actually? As I told you, in regression, the output variable must be a continuous nature or a real value. What is a classification algorithm? In a classification algorithm, the output variable must be a discrete values. So some kind of an basic understanding actually, guys. Still, if I want to talk about them, I can talk about what is supervised, what is unsupervised learnings. We can talk about them. They're at the higher levels actually, guys. No worries about that. Okay. So mostly in our applications, guys, most of your applications, you will be given a task. So the task is going to be nothing but whether it is a classification, whether it is a regression, whether it is a clustering, something like this, we have to identify them, guys. That is what exactly we are going to be talking about. That is what we are going to be talking about. This kind of what we are, the type of the task which we generally encounter in machine learning, guys. Even in deep learning also, guys. Even in deep learning also, the same thing will do. It may be a classification or it may be regression task will be there. But beyond that, we have some more things are also there. Beyond that, we have some more things are going to be there. But we have a different types of algorithms are going to be there. So it is a continuous, which is a regression, and categorical, which is going to be a classification task. You can talk about a lot of examples actually, guys. We can really talk about a lot of examples. We can talk about them. So what are the basically the success stories of the use cases of machine learning means? We can talk about so many use cases actually, guys. So many use cases in medical diagnosis, like in research actually, guys, mainly in the research. So like in medical research or in life sciences research, anywhere, it can be any productions, productivity, e-commerce sites, okay, finance, it is going to be banking, it's maybe hospitalities, airlines, everywhere actually, guys. Everywhere we can talk about what is a use case. As I told you, if there is a data, guys, so some people generally says that, sir, I was a mechanical engineer, I was a chemical engineer, or I was a chemical engineer. Even we are having some participants who are chemical engineers, guys. So what are chemical engineers will do? They have their chemical compositions, data, predictions, some formulas and etc. will be there. So they have their own the data actually, but everything related to the chemical compositions and all these things. They want to do some analysis on that. They want to study the data, and based on that, they want to predict. They want to do some kind of a predictions. So if this is a chemical composition, what is going to be the byproduct it will come? Or if this is a chemical composition, what is a byproduct it is going to come? So it is going to be their data actually. Mechanical engineers, their machines data, chemical engineers, their constructions data actually. So if these many people works, this is a concrete level, this is going to be some, this is going to be the water levels, some different compositions for building that particular, the buildings and all these things actually. So everywhere actually, guys, everywhere we are going to be nowadays, as I told you, this machine learning is not a concept of a computer science engineering, only a computer science engineer. But why? Because there is some programming language involved in that. That is the main reason. Correctly speaking, as part of my experience, Python is a programming language. Actually, guys, programming language means we all of you have an idea. When I talk about a Python, no doubt, Python is a programming language. Generally, what the people generally we have an idea is that Python is a programming language that lets you work quickly and integrates the systems more effectively. Generally, our ideas, programming language means we learn C, C++, Java, etc., etc. So we'll write a main method, we'll write a program .c or .java, we'll write it actually. We are going to write something like, if I talk about Java, we have to write a program, class name. We are going to write something like public static void main, something like this. We are going to write the code, save the program. After that, we are going to save the program. After that, we are going to compile the program, save the program. After that, we are going to compile the program. There is going to be a .class file will be generated in the Java. After that, we have to run the program. Programming language means there is a process must be there. Yes, Python is a programming language, but over my experience, I'm saying that it is a scripting language actually, guys. It's a scripting language. That means we don't write a program, no main method, no main method. For example, in a C program, how much, if the first program you write hello world, you will write hello world program. How carefully you will write the program? Maximum, we all of you have learned C language. So maximum as of our experience, the first program which we have written hello world was never successful for the first time. Never successful for the first time. A lot of errors will come when you learn the C language for the first time. Now you can write it confidently. You are going to write hash include. Why we have to write hash include, which is going to be stdio.h. It is going to be stdio.h. After that, we are going to write something called as an void main. We are going to write something called as a void main. And after that, we are going to write a program like saying that printf, which is going to be hello world. It is going to be hello world. After that, we have to put a semicolon. If you miss any one of the step, program won't execute. It's a .c file. You save the program, compile the program, generate some object to code. And after that, we have to execute the code. So programming language means this is our idea. Generally, that is our idea actually. But in Python, we don't do all these things, guys. No stdio.h, no main method, nothing is there, no saving, no program. It is going to be no compilation, no execution. Do you want to print hello world? Yes, it is an hello world. I'll just show you guys, don't worry. So I want to print hello world. It's like a scripting language. It is going to be something like a scripting language we are going to be using actually, guys. Simple case. This is a Python console application. Do you want to print hello world? Print hello world, over. You need not to write any other extra code, extra libraries and all these things. No semicolons, even no semicolon also. Execute. Hello world will be printed actually. It is going to be nothing but hello world is going to be printed actually. That's it. That is going to be basically the idea behind them. That's it actually, guys. That is going to be basically the understanding about this particular one. So what I mean to say is learning a data science is all about learning some concepts. It's only learning about it conceptually. Practically, when you talk about them, there are going to be, practically when you talk about them, it's going to be Python we are going to use. It does not mean that everybody has to learn a programming language or we should have some skill of a programming language. Not required actually, guys. Python provides you all the libraries. Python provides you all the libraries actually. Whatever you want to do. Just imagine how we have done matrix multiplication in C language. You write a lot of code. In Python, we are going to write just in a 2 to 3 lines of code. We are going to write it actually. But for that, we require some libraries. Some extra libraries are going to be required. Like for example, import, which is going to be NumPy as an NP. It is a Python library. It's a Python package, what we can say that, which allows you to work with arrays. Maximum we have been working with 1-dimensional arrays, guys. You can work with a 2-dimensional arrays. You can work with a 3-dimensional arrays. Very easily we can work with that. NP dot, which is going to be, I can say a range of, which is going to be 1 to 10 or 1 to 11. It generates just a sequence of numbers. I want to convert into 2-dimensional. Just I can convert into 2-dimensional. Dot reshape of. See how simple. I don't want to make you confused with this like this actually, guys. Just see how simple the functionalities are there actually. np.arange 1 to 11. It generates the values from 1 to 10. 11 is not included. I just reshape it into 5, 2, 5 rows and 2 columns. Do you want to reshape into 2, 5? Then I'm going to say that it is going to be 2, 5 actually. That's it. That is going to be nothing but you can treat it like a matrix. It's like a matrix actually, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a matrix actually. We have a lot of things actually. Hope you remembered we generated something called as an identity matrix. You know what is an identity matrix? Where diagonal is going to be 1. Other than diagonal, remaining values are going to be zeros actually. How do you generate it? You need not to write much code. Simply we directly have an option called as an identity of 3. A 3 by 3 matrix will be generated. A 3 by 3 matrix will be generated where diagonal will be 1. Remaining all values are going to become zeros actually. Even mathematicians uses this Python actually, guys. Mathematicians never prefer to use any programming language. Maximum their scope is only up to Excel sheets. But nowadays, even the mathematicians, statisticians are preferring to use the Python basically. Because Python is very easy to learn. It's a very, very easy to learn actually. Without having any much skills, without having any much programming language, programming knowledge, we can just work with this kind of an, we can work with this kind of an applications actually. So many things are there. So many things are there. I can do a data visualizations. So for that, I don't require any tool. For that, a separate library is there. Matplotlib, Cbond, Plotly, okay, or it may be some bouquet, something like that. Even if you want to do for machine learning, actually, guys, for machine learning, the library which we are going to use is, which is going to be sklearn actually, which is what we are going to call it as a scikit-learn. It's a scikit-learn actually, guys, scientific kit for machine learning actually, where the scikit-learn is basically for machine learning in Python. It's a Python library which allows you to work with, just now I told you, guys, classification, regression, identify which category an object belongs to, spam detection, image recognition, regression, predicting a continuous value attribute associated with an object, like applications, drug response, stock prices, etc., etc. This is a library, guys, open source library. It's an open source library, guys, completely. No need to pay any money for this. It's a completely open source and we can work with that. Do you want to work with deep learning actually, guys? We work with Keras. We are going to work with, which is going to be Keras. Keras is going to be another library basically for deep learning in AI actually, guys. Mostly popular for deep learning in AI. We are going to be using this particular Keras actually. So this is going to be Keras. On top of Keras only, TensorFlow has been came actually. TensorFlow is another library developed by Google, the AI team actually. It is going to be nothing but it's a tensorflow.org. So it is all about using an open source libraries only, guys. It is going to be all about using the open source libraries only. We are going to be working with them. It's going to be a tensorflow.org, what we can see with them. Even same as it is, we are going to be having a PyTorch. PyTorch was basically developed by which is by Facebook. PyTorch was basically developed by a Facebook AI team. It has been got developed actually. Like that, we are going to be having a lot of support from so many other communities, which is going to be help you to work with all these kind of an applications actually, guys. So that is going to be one of the main advantage why we are using Python basically. It's not only by Python. You can use so many other libraries are there, but these are all Python integration is going to be done very easily. That is the reason why we prefer to use the Python basically. Remaining language also supports, but they are not going to be that much supportive, but Python is going to be more supportive for that. That is the reason why most of the people prefer to learn, which is going to be nothing but which is going to be basically to work with this kind of the Python packages, what we are going to work. Okay. So that's it. That's it. It's going to be the other application actually, guys. And this is going to be the main, what I just want to make you understand about that. So learning a Python is fine, but everything is going to be done by which is going to be nothing but a Python libraries and a Python communities are there, which contributed a lot to this particular Python actually. That is the reason why we are going to be using the Python that much easily and effectively we are able to use them actually, guys. It's not contributed only by Python community. There are so many supporting communities are there, which has been contributed a lot to that particular Python actually. Okay. So that's it about this particular, some of the basic introductory part actually, guys. So that's it. I think almost all we have got some idea about what is machine learning, what we are going to learn in machine learning, how the machine learning will be done by using some techniques like algorithms will be there. So by using some packages only, we implement all these things. We don't require any other tools or any other softwares which are required. Everything is done within the Python only, because Python support to packages are there, which we are going to work with them actually, guys. Okay. So that is basically the understanding about this particular, what we are talking about them. And that's it, guys. That is my third introductory part. Actually, it's an introductory, just an introductory class. So I don't want to make more of them. This first week is almost all about introduction part only, guys. Even tomorrow also, just a small presentations. Just I want to just make a conclusion of whatever we have been got discussed up to now. I make a conclusion with a small presentation, and then we'll end up the demos. And then I'll start with I'll show you the course curriculum, how my course curriculum will be there. And after that, I'll start with the basics of Python actually, guys. Okay. So that's it for the today's class, guys. Being it's a demo classes, I'm not going too much about them. I'm not taking more sessions for that. So if you have any questions, yeah.
Where we get recording, sir?
Yeah, you will be getting a recording. Day-to-day recordings will be there, guys. That is what I'm about to show you. So every day-to-day, you will be getting a drive access from the Google Drive actually, guys. So where you will be provided with all the, which is going to be day-to-day, the videos will be given like this actually, guys. Like you can see something like this. For example, morning 9 a.m. batch. So these are the videos. So these are the videos actually, guys.
Okay, after Monday, we will get this video.
Yeah, because the batch has to be gets confirmed, and it has to be confirmed means your participants has to confirm it now. So all the fee payments and all these things, it will be done. Then we are going to be provided. Then we'll start giving this particular recording videos.
Okay.
But the demo classes you are going to get to your mail ID. You are going to get the demo classes actually. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
according to this, actual classes will be start from Monday only, or like some other days?
No. Monday means yes, it is.
No,
I didn't
also
get.
coming Monday.
Yeah, actually, these are demo classes. From next month, almost all by this end of the week, we'll complete of the demos, and the main lectures will be starting from the Monday's class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So yeah, fine. Do you need to good at mathematics to learn the data science? Do we learn the big data in this course? Absolutely, Anand. You will be learning about the big data systems also in our course curriculum. Yes, you need not to be a very good in mathematics, but at least if you have a basic mathematical knowledge, that is going to be sufficient, Anand. You really don't require to be an expert in the maths, but at least some basic maths is there, because statistics, maths, every algorithm is depending on the mathematical concept. So it should be a little bit. If I explain a formula, or if I explain some mathematical concept, if you are in a position to take up that, if you are in a position to understand that, that is sufficient with that. Okay. Fine, guys. Any more questions, guys? Anyone? Any more questions?
Also,
Yeah.
what practicals are we gonna do, Vamsi, with this in this course? Like, I mean, do we analyze some systems? So I have a question. Like,
yeah, we'll analyze a lot. We'll analyze the data sets. We'll develop a machine learning models with the real data sets. So we are going to be working. It's a completely like a real environment only. That means we don't work with the small data sets. We don't work with. We are going to work with the larger data sets only. We are going to work with them with the real data sets. But they are called as a public data sets actually, which we are going to use it for our practical applications actually.
So one more thing.
Yes,
What
yes.
about the doubt session? If we have any doubts after the session, so
Yes.
how we can?
We'll be having a Telegram group. Will be there. We'll be having a Telegram group is maintained. You can just communicate in the Telegram group with me. I will be responding to that.
Okay,
if you have
sir.
any questions after the class, if you have any questions during the class, you can discuss with me during the class
Okay.
itself. Okay. Yes. Right. How to join a company with experience 2007 passed out? Yes. Yogesh, I can guide you. That means how many years of experience, what is your expertise in data science, up to what extent you can attend the interviews. Depending on that, I can guide you. So what role you have to put, what is your role responsibilities. So according to after a complete discussion with you, I can just guide you. So it's not a problem. 2017 means hardly it is 4 or 5 years of time. So it is not a problem. I can just guide you. How much extent of the experience you have to put. Based on that, you can prepare your resume and you can do that actually. Yeah, we are going to provide a certification, which is going to be nothing but a course completion certificate from the DURGASOFT people. But one thing, I was not sure about that because I was a consultant trainer for them. So I was not sure about that. I don't have a complete information about that. But whenever my backend team is going to call you, just you can clarify that particular question, whether course completion certificate will be given by the DURGASOFT or not. Okay. Fine, guys. Right, guys. I think so. All your questions has been got clarified. So almost all we have got some idea about machine learning, guys. Tomorrow also we'll just make a conclusion. Tomorrow is also demo class. Up to the end of this week, we'll have a demo classes only, guys. You can attend free of cost. After before the next Monday, you have to just decide. And if you want to take up the course, you have to make the fee payments and all these things by the next Monday. And then regular classes will be starting from Monday's class, guys. Okay. So thank you all of you guys. Thanks for attending the demo class. And we'll meet up in the tomorrow's class at the same time and with the same link, guys. Thank you all of you and have a nice day, guys. Yes, anybody?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.